Hey fuckers, it's Friday.
Can't spell shattered without shat or turd.
Like a gut punch to the abdomen.
Some of the funniest shit on the web.
I call it a rock Fred.
I like the cut of your jib, gentlemen.
These five are the only protection we have.
The best part of this show is the genuine Hasbro love.
Good night, folks.
And of course, Pat's weekly farts.
Breaking news.
It's very outside of the box.
Nailed it.
I love Friday.
Bob's Bait and Tackle, now carrying Hasbro.
They truly are your favorite podcast.
Thoughts, prayers, likes, and shares. Shout out to
A to B.
Shattered Uncut. Is that you? Shattered Cast.
When are you going to bring Larry back?
My favorite Star Wars podcast.
Shattered Cast Uncut.
Complete fuckers. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only, and its sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it off now and
shut the fuck up, Chip.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Shadowcast Uncut. This is episode 298. I don't know why we call them episodes. It's show. It's show number 298. It's not like we have a script, and it's the episode where our story progresses as the turd turns. We are a man down. Greg from Mercy is not
Man
with
down.
Man down.
Yeah, man down. Hopefully he's doing okay. He's a little under the weather. But as you hear, we have Matthew Deluxe Baldwin.
Hey there, everybody.
And we have Justin T2RX6.
Hey, what's going on?
I saw Justin at Bobby's Crab Fest, and it was very nice.
Certainly did.
Did you fondle him?
No, but now. See, what I wanted to, you had to say that, and I can't say the thing I was going to say. Damn.
I don't care. I care what you say. I care. I was trying to make a joke. I don't give a fuck if yours went off or not. Shit.
I was going to talk about his son. I was going to say Ryan was so sweet. He hugged me 6 times.
Yeah, man.
I counted.
That's awesome.
And he gave me 2 kisses. I didn't even ask.
Crazy.
Yeah, but his daughter, his baby girl, was terrified of me. If I came within 5 feet, she's just clawed away. Like
she's in that phase.
And say hello to the one and only Bobby Skullface.
Internet celebrity.
Dude, what are you talking about?
What?
I don't have all my t-shirts on TeePublic, man.
That's fine. Teespring, first of all, if you're gonna make a joke about it, at least get the company right.
Sorry, I'm thinking about putting some on there though, man. You've inspired me.
Big.
RLC does it. That's who they get theirs through.
Yeah. But it was something about like seeing you do it. I was like, man, I'm digging this swag.
As many times as I fucking promote it, nobody buys them. So
how come you don't wear the t-shirts? Why don't you wear the shirts?
I got one. I got one in this week. I'm gonna start wearing it. I'm gonna wear it to TFCon. Yay.
Tube top?
I got I'm gonna tie it like a little tie in the front, like people do it. I'm gonna do that.
Bra.
No.
Bra. Hey there, everybody. So I'm a little under the weather. I apologize, everybody.
Oh, how are you doing, Robert?
I'm okay. Excuse me.
Don't do that.
My brachial plexus is still bothering me, and I'm on.
Oh my God! If you don't stop saying brachial plexus, dude.
Say that every 5 seconds.
You know what? You know what really helped was getting tackled into a table covered in crabs. Mm-hmm. That really helped. And choked out 4 times by 2 people. Chris,
you know what, Justin? How do you? We had this discussion today on our Rage. How do you remember that beginning?
You said I want to fight you.
No, I'm not asking Justin.
You said I kind of want to fight you, and I said okay.
I'm asking.
You tried to tackle me into your wife's liquor.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Is your name Justin?
I kind of want to punch you in the face.
I do remember quite a bit of back and forth between both of you. I feel like it's there's equal, I guess, responsibility for the actions that occurred.
I would say so too. See, the way I remember it, Robert tells a story where I just walked up to him and I was like, I want to fight you. That's not how I recall it. I recall Robert being very physically aggressive, kind of with everyone, including me, throwing his weight around a little bit. You know how bullies do.
Has he been drinking?
Oh my God! So let me.
Okay. There you
he
go.
came in and he was like, "I need a drink." And Laura got
Robert D over there.
He came in and he said, "I need a drink." And Laura said, "Well, we can get you water right away. Get him some water." So I got him some water. Then Laura left. He threw the water at Scarlett and then said, "Get me a drink."
He said, "Give me a scotch."
I did not throw the water at Scarlett and tell her to get me a drink.
Please give me a scotch with ice.
I handed her the glass of water and I said, "No, I meant this."
Yeah, so then he started taking shots at Jameson at like 1 p.m.
And then you were like, I guess I'll join you.
Nope, not how it went down either. See, your memory is wild. So like, then he was on his like second or third shot. And then he was on his second or third shot, and I was like, man, you're making me want to drink. And then he was like, yeah, man, you should drink. And I was like, it's so early, and you're like, drink, drink, drink. And then I waited a little bit longer, and then I started. But he was throwing his weight around, heavy with the massages, bumping into people, pushing people around a little bit.
I can massage is a bully tactic?
No. The massage is where it started, and then it evolved. In my memory, it evolved into this kind of like pushing, shoving, like grabbing, holding, constricting. And then something inside me triggered, and I was like,
Robert's penis.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder what it would be like to fight a dude this size. And then I got obsessed with it. And then I did say, something about you makes me want to fight you, just because of how big you are. And then the next thing I know, I was throwing you into a crab table, and then then we had to call it quits a little bit.
You know, like, because Laura left. Where did she go?
To go get your stuff for your s'mores kit that you pulled out of.
No, that was later on. She took Jaina to a basketball.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, this little window of time when things got wild when Laura left. It was like the cat's away. Chris is like, can I try a choke on you? I'm like, yeah, sure. And, then I was like, oh, that was crazy. Do it again. I'm like, what? And then Tyler comes up and chokes me. And then I said, do it again. And then he choked me twice. And then I like picked him up while he was choking me. But at some point, me and Bobby, I thought Bobby wanted to play. But Bobby's like swinging at me. He's coming at me. And I'm like, I'm not going to fuck up your wife's house. And it's like liquor cabinet. We're in front of the liquor cabinet.
Yeah, it's not my house.
Then no, not your house. If it was just your house, then it's all free.
So was this a wrestling fist or a crab fist? It sounded like it was just
it was a crab fist. No, the Robert collapsing into the table, that was it for the.
I didn't collapse into the table. I was standing at the table, and then you like shoot me, and I'm like, okay, I either back up into this table or I let him take me down. And
that's also not what happened. Robert tried to knee me in my ribs.
No, I didn't. I lifted my leg, and I realized I couldn't put my leg anywhere without fucking ruining your table.
So he lifted his leg. I grabbed underneath his leg and put him down for the count.
Mm-hmm. That's how I remember.
That was his undoing.
There's no undoing. I saved the table, and I got covered in crabs.
I saved the table.
I got covered in crabs. It was so abusive. I'm a touchy guy. I'm always touchy. You know?
I know.
Not being a bully.
I know. I don't know what it was about it this time, but this time it was different. This time it was different.
Hey, if me and Robert fought, I could fuck up his belly button. I can tell you right now. That's all I can do.
A lot.
I'm gonna tell you, it was hard to move Robert when Robert planted himself. It was hard to move him.
I was letting you have fun with me.
Mm-hmm.
He was just teasing you, dude. He's like
That's good. I enjoyed the tease.
He would have tossed you around like a little rag doll, man.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Robert is like the ogre from Flight of Dragons. Like you can't let him get a hold of you.
Oh yeah, if he gets hold of you, you're done.
When you tried to tackle me another time, and I was like, I could so choke you right now, but I didn't.
He played with you.
Like I had my arm around your neck. I'm like, let go.
Tackle you.
I'm not gonna hurt him.
He played with you.
I'm not a tackler.
You shot me twice. You shot at me twice.
The
last time I had my back to a table.
The last thing I would ever want to do is get on the floor with you, because, and so to speak, because if we were to get on the ground, I know that there's no way I can win. I even said that to you, because they were like, go on, take it to the floor. Somebody said take it to the floor at some point. And I was like, there's no fucking way I'm taking it to the floor, because then it's like I'm at an extreme disadvantage.
I don't think so, man. You got those Magnum legs.
Did you rub his bald head?
Oh, that was the fun part. Okay, I'm trying to back him away from the liquor, right? Because it's like a whole. What do you got? It's like not a. It's like a cat. It's not a cat. It's like a liquor. This man has room.
Wait. Let me flex a little bit. You're talking about my butler's pantry.
The butler's pantry, yes. It is impressive. He's like pushing me into the butler's pantry. He's swinging at me. I'm like, what the fuck? There's bottles here. This is Laura's cab. So what I do is I put my hand out.
This is Laura's stuff.
I gave Bobby the stiff arm move to the head. And I'll just
did you hold him up?
Did you hold him?
So that's also not entirely accurate. What happened was Robert said, Robert said, "You can't move me," and I said, "Let me try." And then Robert planted himself, and it was difficult. I was able to, but it was extremely challenging. That's how we got to that point inside the butler's pantry.
Can I say on the immovable force? I was out on the blob.
No. Why would you? Don't speak about yourself that way. Hey, you're talking about my friend.
I would love to be the blob.
Yeah,
He's an impressive man.
I wish I could have came.
No, it was good. It was a good time, and
we had a great time.
And I'll tell you, like, it reminded me of how good the intimate gatherings are.
It was a fun time. Like, we were just wrestling. We weren't really fighting.
Yeah. No. There was never a point. There was never a point where either one of us were angry.
We were laughing and having fun, and I thought it was hilarious that a fucking table full of crabs went. Okay, I pissed some people off early on purpose. I'm an idiot like that because I was eating the crabs. I had the fucking Old Bay and crab all over my fingers, and when people came over, I hugged them, and like I really pissed Phil off because he's like, "You get crab on my Metallica shirt."
But then he stole your tennis ball.
And then at the end of it, I got covered in crabs. It was really funny.
But like there was a part where I was thinking to myself, because like, Skullfest is becoming a little bit taxing. So like I think next year is probably going to be the last big Skullfest, and then we're gonna back it down to maybe a couple intimate gatherings throughout the year. But like, it did show me that like that is where, I don't know. That's it's hard, right? Because like, if you were to ask me on Saturday, like, hey, would you have mind if so and so was there? It's like, no, absolutely not. I would have loved. That's the problem I get into, where I'm like, no, I want all these people there, which is true. But when you have all those people there, then it gets to like a point where you can't really enjoy the everybody's company. But Laura and I and Robert spoke about maybe a fix to that would allow for something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Deluxe Fest 2020?
Like the Matrix, Matrix
Correct.
Reloaded level.
Like, it would be crazy but people would have to really be devoted to want to do it. But it would be amazing. But we're looking at that for 2021. More details for that later.
That would be a lot of fun.
Deluxe Fest says 2020.
So, did anybody get anything this week? Let's start with you, Matthew.
Deluxe Fest 2020.
Besides raging gas again because all you had was water and cornflakes, what else did you get?
I had raisin bran for lunch, yeah. I got Studio Series Dropkick and High Tower, one of the Constructicons. I got, what else I got? I don't know what else I got. Oh, I got the G1 reissue mini cassettes of Graphy, Noise, and Frenzy or Rumble, whichever one you want to call them that week. And I got one of my shirts in to wear. So
you bought one of those?
Yeah, I bought one.
You idiot! I'm just kidding.
It's fine. I'm the only one who support. I'm the only one who supports myself, so I got to.
Oh, here we go.
Somebody's got to buy. Hey, whatever.
You should have like Deluxe
Here
Lab.
we go.
You should have Deluxe Lab, like crowdfunding. Have little pie charts and a graph.
Deluxe, you never look at the growth of your channel over the very limited amount of time that you've been doing it and be like, wow, I've fucking done something here. You never do that.
I do. I'm appreciative of everything. The people that even watch my stuff. I'm so appreciative of everything. So I love the designs. I mean, I think they're the better ones than I did last year.
You went from 0 to 1,000 pretty quickly.
In 5 years.
Pretty quickly, Matt. Pretty quick.
I did, and I appreciate it, man. I hope that this YouTube thing is not gonna mess it up or anything.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, I know. So,
but
we'll see.
We'll see.
Let's see how many.
But I think that's all I got this week.
This our new segment. How many subs does Deluxe have today?
Let's not do that.
2.33K subs.
So 2,000. Pardon, as I was.
2,033.
You can't say like how long has your channel been active? 2 years?
3.
So like that's pretty decent growth, Matthew, for 3 years.
Agree.
And I appreciate that. I love everybody that watches my stuff.
How about the people that are subscribed that don't watch?
And that too.
Okay.
And that's all I got. That's all I got this week. I didn't get to check out anything this week.
No more t-shirts? How many shirts do you sell?
Just 2. Mr. Eric Vaughn, he bought one, and I really appreciate that. He got the Crapagonics one. I may order one of those too. That looks pretty
Eric's
good.
good.
He is. Yeah, he's gonna be at a TFCon too.
Nice.
I'm excited.
I'm gonna text my mom. I'll tell her to buy one.
Oh God.
What about your mom? Your mom didn't go and get a shirt?
Nah, my mom's in bad shape.
What about Balista?
Nah, she don't support me.
That's mean. That's mean.
Oh, she supports you, all right.
Yeah, she does. But that's it. That's it, folks.
Justin.
Yes, sir.
Did he just say I quit? Justin, what did you get this week?
I got crabs.
Nice.
Yeah.
That was good.
And then you went back for seconds.
Then I
That
went
was
back
crazy
for seconds. Yeah, the next day. So.
Was it just you that went? Oh, you brought the family too, didn't you?
Yep. So.
Okay, cool.
And then I got a Nitro Viper for G.I. Joe, because why not? And that is all I got. I got a broken Fanstoys Phoenix, but I've had him for a while. He just broke recently.
The ankle rocker didn't have.
So
Doesn't it suck when you have a high-end toy that breaks?
Yeah.
It sucks. It's the worst feeling.
You know, and like sometimes if something breaks, I'm like, whatever, just buy a new one. But in this case, I'm like, God damn, he's expensive and hard to find.
What happened?
I closed the drawer of my desk, and I guess the vibration of the drawer closing the desk just so happened to make him shake enough that he fell off the desk. So, I don't know.
That sucks, dude. I'm
Have
sorry
y'all-
to hear that.
Yeah, like he's nice and planted, and like he was nowhere close to the edge, but then I guess, you know, whatever happened, he just fell. So
He fell on his belly.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought about putting like, I don't know, Bobby, you put your combiners and everything on top and everything. Have you ever thought about moving down to the bottom just in case like a earthquake or something happens or anything like that happens, so it won't break the high end stuff?
I do worry about it from time to time, but it just doesn't make logistic sense for me.
Okay.
So I'm throwing a dice.
Gotcha.
Bubby,
Yes, sir.
what did you get this week, or have an opportunity to look at?
Well, I'm glad that you asked. I got Hot Toys Count Dooku for one.
Oh,
Which
yes,
is-
that thing was beautiful.
It's fucking amazing. I had the opportunity to look at Flames Toy Star Saber.
You had more than look at it. Isn't it funny? You know what you do? You know how you look at things with your eyes?
Look. So part of that is on me.
No, it's
because
It's
obviously
not.
I interacted with it and the dynamics of it changed.
Well,
But
hold on. In your defense, let me come in and defend you, because Bobby contacted me and he said the blue. It comes with a blue head, right? It's you can make him in his like powered down form or whatever that is, right?
correct.
What's his name? Saber, just Saber or something.
Just
So-
Star.
But
It's
The-
It's Sabe.
say
Sabe.
Stase. The exclusive comes with an LED in the head, and Bobby told me, because I didn't notice that the head was it was on backwards, and you can't just turn it around because of the molding. You have to pop it off the ball peg. I told him to go ahead and try to pop it off the ball peg. I didn't say don't touch it. I said try to pop it off, and apparently there's wiring in there, and popping it off, and putting it back.
But the wiring stayed connected. So like I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's not like I pulled the head off and the wiring popped out, because I've had that happen before with Hot Toys stuff. But the wiring stayed connected. I like when I went to try it again, like I fully imagined that the lighting was gonna work, and it didn't. So
That's on them. That's something that you'd expect, a return on. That they need to exchange that because it was constructed incorrectly.
yeah.
Period.
I got the opportunity to look at the New Age PSI Commandos, otherwise known as the Insecticons.
Psych Commandos. Psych. Okay.
I love those little fuckers.
I also got to look at the Iron Factory Wheeljack, the Magic Square Hoist, and then for my personal collection, I obtained the Hot Toys Yoda from Attack of the Clones.
with the real hair.
With the real hair.
Real hair.
Good figure though.
That's pubes.
Wait, is that the one with the no waist articulation?
Yeah, it's extremely limited. Like it's got a little. Yeah. I agree.
Why did they do
it's,
that?
It's in there. It's built in there. It's the soft goods that restrict it.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, that character is supposed to be articulated well. It's supposed to be like Puck.
That Dooku though, like I swapped it out with I have a statue of Dooku and Asajj, and they're 1/6 scale, and I took the Dooku always looked like trash, so I swapped that Dooku out and I put the Hot Toys Dooku in, and now it looks fucking amazing. I'm gonna send it in the G3 chat. It looks fucking great.
Now, did that Yoda come with a swap out face or head, or just the one head?
Just the one.
Now, if he has the I'm repelling your lightning, I'm concentrating, shouldn't he have a grimace face? It doesn't work. Like in the scene, he's struggling to gather the lightning and push it back.
Yeah. Well, the face that he comes with is kind of concentrating. I would have rather a more relaxed face come with it, but let me send this to you guys. G3.
I know it's been so long since you've been in there, so.
Oh boy, here
we go.
Here we go.
Look at that.
There. So the Asajj Ventress in that picture is the statue, and then the Dooku is the Hot Toys.
That's good.
It fucking looks sharp. And like you can't really see it in this picture, but his left hand is like holding onto her ribs. Like it looks fucking good. Like I'm super happy.
That's shocking. That's good.
Yeah.
Is that his stand or her stand?
Her stand.
You can't even tell.
Nope.
Wow. Huh. Nice shot.
It turned out nice.
Shocking that the scale works and everything.
Hey, Robert D.
Yes.
What'd you get, fella?
Going through a scary process, very stressful, scary process. Went to a mortgage broker, got approved, pre-approval.
Oh, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
You didn't tell me.
Mortgage. We're like thinking about buying a house. I'm just
Where
like,
at?
Don't know.
Is it in Brooklyn?
Yeah, well, Lisa wants to stay in Brooklyn, and I'm like, we don't need to stay in Brooklyn. For $1 million, you can't get a cardboard box in Brooklyn.
You can't leave Brooklyn, dude.
Murderland.
You are Brooklyn, man. You can't leave, man.
You can take the boy out of Brooklyn, but you can't take Brooklyn out of the boy.
Are you gonna take Terror Squad with you?
Wherever I go, the best of everything will follow.
Take Fat Joe with you.
I mean, I would.
That's the Bronx.
I would live anywhere. Like if I could drive 1 hour to go to my office, I would live there. Because I don't have a 9 to 5. I have my own business, so I don't have to worry about that crappy commute into the city. I can come in at 10 and leave at 4 and beat the traffic each time, and just come in 3 times a week, and the other 2 work from my home office in my house.
Yeah.
I don't need that's just to meet clients and stuff. I don't need to do that. I don't have to answer anything.
We got a house on the sale in the neighborhood.
That's too far, man. And you know what, though? I'll tell you what, the drive to Bobby's this time was fast and pleasant. I couldn't believe it was the same drive.
Just leaving at the right times. Like I used to drive to New York all the time. It's just a matter of timing it right.
I was like, wow, this is great. It was very nice. It was cool because me and Scarlett, we need a little one-on-one time.
Yeah, of course.
Had a nice drive together, and it was funny because she was just hanging out with Chris's kids, your kids.
Yeah, man.
I mean, they all got along really well. Chris's kids are really nice.
Yeah, I mean the Pinkertons they're a great family.
They are, but Charlie's really something. I forget what it was. Like they were just joking around. I called him naughty, but I was just joking. And then later on, he was like, "Why did you say I was a bad person?" And I was like, "I didn't say that. No.
Right.
You're a nice kid. No. You're a good boy. You're a very good boy, Charlie.
Good boy.
You're really nice."
Did you pet him on the head too? Did you pet him?
I did frequently. He has the kind of head that you ruffle his head all the time. At least I did.
Yeah, his hair. He's always coming with his sharp hair.
Yeah, but no, that's the thing. It was a nice, like Bobby was saying before, it's like a more intimate affair. It wasn't. It's cool to see all the when at Skullfest, it's like everybody there and everybody's good friends. Like you could just walk from one person to the other and just catch up where you left off and just have a great time.
Yeah,
this was nice because it was just having a fewer number of people in the space. It in the time allotted, it was really fun. We had more fun. Like we're all fighting and shit. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's one of the situations that, like, when it is the smaller space, like, there's more time to devote to everyone there, you know?
Yep.
So.
It's just more intimate, you know, like I don't know. We got to strike the balance. So next year, Skullfest, probably the last big Skullfest. You know, I'm gonna invite pretty like as many people as I can, and then from then on out, we're gonna get a little smaller here for like get-togethers. But we have an idea, but we're just not ready to talk about it yet. We have an idea, but it's one of those things where it's like it's gonna change the game in terms of like community get-together stuff, but you gotta really want it.
And it's kind of outside the box. It's
actually
interesting.
Man. I'm excited.
Deluxe Fest 2020.
Yeah.
Bring your own box, and we're all gonna stay as homeless people in Baltimore. So.
Yeah.
A week.
It's more of a social experiment.
That was an impressive amount of crabs, though. That was shocking.
It was.
That was an obscene amount of crabs.
It's the bushel, man.
It smelled delicious.
I'll tell you that Adele was like, one of the reasons we got crabs the next day is like Adele's like, I didn't eat that many crabs. I felt bad. Like I didn't think there was that many. I'm like,
oh, there's plenty.
There's a huge box. She's like, I knew that afterwards, but when I was eating them, I didn't want to eat too many.
Oh no. We like, look, man. We never invite anybody to our home. Like, we want you to take the last roll. You know what I mean? Like, we never invite anybody to our home and not have enough food. Like, there's never been any event in my house where people have walked out like, is there anything left?
Exactly.
There's always something, you know?
The burgers.
Greg would disagree with you.
No, because there was hot dogs.
I just want to say, hey, Bobby, well, like I said, with the food thing, dude got meat for me, man. I mean, it was.
Ooh,
that's a fact.
Who doesn't have meat for you, man?
I mean, I came up for, what's this, 2 years ago, or was it last year?
Yeah, for Skullfest.
2 years. And, yeah, so.
Oh, with the fillet that he had like 30 pounds of fillet. Remember that?
Yeah,
the
tenderloin. Yeah.
It was Shattercast night.
Yeah. Nobody goes hungry here. That's never happened.
It was a lot of fun.
And I love sleeping on that little purple seat too, man. It's awesome.
You know, it's funny. The girls didn't know that Tyler F crashed, right? Like Selena. By the way, Selena does not go to bed early. Scarlett was like, Selena was up late.
That's probably because Scarlett was. Let me tell you something. Selena does go to bed early, but Jaina does not. Jaina stays up late. Jaina stays up, but she stays up late in her room.
They were up, right? Yeah, that's the thing. I think if we had a house, it would be different. Like we're in an apartment. Like you're in each other's face. You can't be like, go in the closet.
Don't give away everything.
So they thought that I was sleeping. They're like, oh, we thought we heard you snoring, so we snuck down to surprise you. And then it was that guy Tyler. And then he farted. And then we ran away.
He didn't fart.
That's what they said. They said he farted really loud. Oh, Tyler F.
There ain't no wrong farting.
Tyler F. All right. Okay. I guess we'll just start the show now.
Just do it.
Okay. Oh, we're still doing the ROC Toys for Tots drive. There's a link in the description. You can also do it. There's a GoFundMe.
Spoiler alert, Robert. It's going to be in the news until it's over. So, you know.
Such a spoiler. T2RX Mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're going to bring it up every time. Please donate your unopened toys. If you have a mattress covered in Legends, wrap it in saran wrap, send it in. But click the link in the description, or you can just donate to the GoFundMe. It's for a good cause. It's like nothing touches a kid more than not a priest, Bobby. Jesus.
Tinfoil.
And getting a present when maybe you didn't have any money to have one. You know, it's. I remember when I was a little kid and we were broke, and like it was like my cousin was the favorite, and all of our aunts and uncles and everybody would shower him with gifts.
Aunts? What's an aunt? You mean aunt?
I would get nothing. I would get absolutely nothing. Like when I would go to my grandfather's house, and you feel like shit when that happens. But it really means a lot. Please no switch outs. Don't do that.
Wow, man, I already did that.
Contribute, be a part of the community. And now what's new in third party? Should we say that instead of third party news? Or what's going on at third party? Because I think Matt does the what's new. Matt does, what's new today? What's new this afternoon? What's new this evening? Fanstoys Iceman, Matthew. Fanstoys Iceman, not Iceman.
Yeah, I thought this was next. I guess Goose is going to be next. I guess Iceman's going to be the third one. And these are supposed to be final colors, I think.
Yeah, this shit looks good, man.
I love that red. I love that fucking cherry red, man, on his chest. That is so... He is really white in the arms and legs area, but, man, I love that cherry red.
I love that chrome dome.
There's character in his face.
Yeah, it's like really good looking.
Yeah.
Who the fuck he's beeping? Goddamn.
Yeah, I mean, who knows what it'll be, the thing. You know, there's going to be a thing. You know what I mean? Like, they'll be like, oh, did you guys see his ankles? Yeah. They're shaped like a unicorn from the side, kind of. You know, there's going to be a thing, you know, but who's to say what it is? But from right here, it looks great.
Now, in the picture of the third Iceman 3, is that a new faceplate, I guess, because it looks like he's screaming? Is that the screaming one?
Oh, yeah. Nice eye, Matthew.
So, I think he's going to, I think they've all,
because they've all kind of had.
Came with.
Yep.
Yeah, and the
Stunticons. Yep. Good call.
Very nice. I like that because I love you know what Legends does with the hands. It gives them a little more character when you can switch out the hands and stuff. So I love when you can switch out faceplates and everything because that's really cool. Better pictures and stuff and everything.
I agree.
Looks good.
What do you think about the alt mode with the It doesn't look as clean, to be honest. And these are just photos, right? But I mean, just seeing the bump out of the white, and then there's a space. And then more white. You know, it looks less streamlined of a chunk underneath. I think that Zeta might have them beat with that.
Yeah?
What do you think?
I have to look at Zeta again. I think they're the same, aren't they?
Say again what your point is.
So if you look at figure, it's like listed as 30. Well, I guess they're all listed as 30. Iceman 5. That's the figure.
All right, that's the jet, right?
Yeah. So you can see, like, if you look underneath. I think Robert's talking about how you can see like the white of the shoulders and chest, like underneath the jet there. It's not quite so clean looking.
Yeah, and you can tell by the photography they want certain angles to be seen.
Mm-hmm. You can see a gap. There's a gap between the chest and I guess the legs. And Zeta does a pretty nice job of just bringing it to the G1 cartoon where it's just a block underneath and you accept it because that's what they look like.
Oh, I see the gap between the black and the red or something. Is that what you're talking about? Okay.
The white, between the two white blocks.
Yeah, the two white, there's red, and then you got the black underneath of it and everything.
Yeah. Let me see. I'm trying to see if I can find a picture.
The black thing's a gun.
You know, the reason that Zeta's kind of blends in a little bit more is because there's more red on him. It's like a if you look at Zeta toys, it sticks out just as much, but it's red. So I feel like the white on the black is what ends up drawing your eye to this one a little more.
And it looks like this works with the Fanstoys stands. I
can say, are we going to stand with these? I don't think we're.
Nah, I'm doubting it.
Did Silverbolt? They should have stands.
No, they didn't get stands. Silverbolt didn't have a stand. I can't remember the last time Fanstoys put a stand in.
Come on, Fanstoys, we're running out of things that we can put on the stand you've given us before. Give us some
stands.
I don't remember the last time they gave a stand to us.
When it's a Jetfire. Wasn't it Jetfire?
Jetfire didn't get a stand.
Damn, wasn't it?
I can't remember the last time. I think Swoop was the last time we got a stand from them.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who else flies.
Galvatron got a stand.
No, he did not. Why would Galvatron get a stand?
I think
I love how he said it like you're a fucking idiot.
I got a bunch of stands, and I don't know why, because I only have one Swoop.
You got them from KFC.
With the stand? I don't think he came with the stand.
No, I have a few stands.
You got them from KFC probably or TFC.
No. There are a few stands because
I have at least two, and I can't remember who. I know one came with Swoop, and I don't remember the other one.
No, it wasn't Cyclonus. Shit. I don't know. I don't know what the other stand is. I remember Swoop has one, and I don't know the other one.
They need to bring that back because, especially since they're high end, you want to stand house at the display. If Justin had a stand, his wouldn't have taken that desk dive.
Mm-hmm. Probably would have. I would have left the stand in the box. I'll be honest with you.
But I do have a couple stands. I don't know what
the Megatron. Beast Wars Megatron should have got a stand from Takara. I don't know.
So I mean, this shit looks nice. I love this. Oh boy.
I actually kind of feel like, honestly, like every masterpiece type Transformer should come with some kind of stand. Like, it's a high-end collectible thing. They come with the stands to, do whatever. So like, do it for Transformers too.
Optimus should have came. They should have knocked off a couple of the other stuff and gave him a stand.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Optimus 100% should have. Like, especially if the character has a flying alt mode or some kind of flight accessory, it 100% should have a stand. You shouldn't be like, here's an adapter so you can go buy another stand. Like, I already paid $400 for this thing. Like, where's my damn stand?
Plus, Optimus has that, has that pose, that one pose, in the movie.
Yeah, the jumping up pose.
Yeah, and everybody wants to do that. But dude, this looks. I mean, you would, when you first said about, somebody's going to find something wrong with this. What do you think they're going to find wrong with this one?
Who's to say, man? Like, it's so random.
Silverbolt was the shoulders, but they were transformed wrong. So
yeah, but it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't matter that it's not right.
What they pick out.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's just like that. The skinniness of Breakdown, right? It doesn't matter that it's not really accurate. You know what I mean? Like, what matters is that something was found.
Gotcha. Okay. I love Spoiler. I don't care what anybody does. It's a good fucking toy.
It's a great figure.
Yeah.
All righty. Speaking of great figures, Fanstoys Magnum.
Magnum PI.
Oh, that's where the name came from.
Is that what it is for?
I was just saying Magnum. I was trying to figure it out.
Was that his car? Was that Magnum PI's car?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't quite think so. But I mean, he did have a Ferrari, so.
This fucking looks good too. I love the car mode.
Yeah, I love it. I think it looks great.
He's too skinny in the back too.
First time we've seen their Dragstrip too.
I think so. I mean, no, we've seen pictures of it before.
Okay. Because I know there's the picture with him next to the Lego, and that's the first time I recall seeing Fanstoys Dragstrip.
Jesus Christ, this fucking thing looks great.
Yeah,
you don't think the alt mode looks a little funny, like by the front wheel well?
Yeah. No. I think that the proportions look wrong on the alt mode.
On the Ferrari?
Yeah, I feel like the front windshield is not right.
And look around the wheel well.
The wheel well doesn't bother me as much, but it feels bubbly.
The thing that I think about the wheel well that's a problem is if you look towards the back where obviously robot bits are, you can see like the bump out back there. And I almost wish that they would have just bumped out the front to be more symmetrical. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like obviously there's no robot bits there, so they went with the actual line of the car properly. So. Let me see.
He's too damn skinny, so I'm selling my other two.
And he's got really thick fucking windshield wipers. Like, what the hell are those? All-terrain windshield wipers?
I'm not getting these now, man. The fucking windshield wipers, him being skinny, the bump on the fucking car.
What are those? Like, those Uzis?
Man, fuck this shit.
Those is guns?
And they put a little Lego girl there, man. Fuck this shit, man.
What's up with those windshield wipers? That makes the proportions look funny. It's little details like that. He's got these side view mirrors, and the windshield wipers are almost as thick as the mirror.
Seriously, you're really griping about the windshield? I was just kidding.
That throws off. Bobby was mentioning the hood, and it looks bubbly, but also what makes it look bubbly is those bubbly, rounded, bloated windshield wipers. Look at it. It's a quarter of the space taken up in the windshield.
What about the back of it? It ain't clean either.
Yeah, the windshield wipers are large.
The windshield wipers are definitely a problem.
Check out his back.
A little detail like that. All right, we'll look at the back.
Look at his back. God damn.
And yes, this was the 308 was Magnum's Ferrari. So.
Was it really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Fuck yeah, Magnum. Yeah. You should have a mustache then too.
Let's see, I'm looking at a side view. It's not like
look at that back view, man. God dang, look at that shit. It's nasty. Man, fuck this shit, man. Fuck Fanstoys. I love that cherry red though. God dang, look at that cherry red.
You know it's gonna be great. I just know it's gonna happen. I wonder how this is gonna be mistransformed in the box, and then some idiot's gonna quickly post, probably in front of a dark gray background.
I don't know. Sometimes like, okay, so you see the picture with the little plastic girl standing in front of the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm done.
Like the front of the windshield looks wonky to me on that, but then the next picture, from the side view, it looks great.
Yeah, maybe I see what you're saying about like that bubbly look.
It's the lighting.
Yeah, that's weird. I didn't notice.
Yeah, I don't know. That's strange.
Yeah,
I hope mine comes broken so I can put it on the fucking Facebook group and say this sucks so bad. Fucking Fanstoys.
Oh, and then there you've got Dragstrip. Color's wrong.
Color is definitely wrong.
Totally off. The colors are way off.
I didn't know there really was.
Look at them three together, man. Is that not fucking just beautiful?
It's great.
Shit, man. That makes me want to fucking come everywhere.
That's like, dude, like,
too much.
Like, I like, dude, I mean, I hate to say it, and I mean, like, you know, of course I do work for Fanstoys, so it does make it complicated, but,
Takashi said so.
Like, yeah, Takashi did say so. But this company is single-handedly keeping me interested in the hobby.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'm not who cares about that, but anyway. Why is Dragstrip silver, man?
Because he's all metal. That's just the die cast.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He's all metal.
Well, why'd they make him all silver, though, Robert?
Because metal.
And why'd they put that little girl next to him, man? That's...
The Lego character is a little weird because I don't know if they've stood next to a Ferrari, but they'd most definitely come up to over the roof. Unless Fanstoys is just a bunch of little girls, then in which case, then accurate.
They are probably working in the sweatshops.
That would be awesome if Fanstoys was like an all-girl third-party team. Oh, the nerds would be like, whoa!
First the Last Jedi, and now this.
No, first the Last Jedi, then Endgame, and now this.
Fucking feminist. So y'all are getting two of these, right? Y'all are doing the combined mode and the alt mode? Or I'm sorry, not bot mode. Bot mode.
Yeah.
I'm getting three. I'm getting combined mode, alt mode, and raffle win.
Oh, raffle? Nice. You gotta love a good raffle, man. Y'all don't count XTrans bots out, man.
That shit is funny.
He didn't put in the they put some pictures up of XTrans bots Motor Master, and it's supposed to be coming out in December.
I'm sure it's in the notes. Let's see if it's in the notes. It's not in the notes?
No, we did last week.
We did?
Yeah.
No, we did.
We did.
No, we did.
Okay.
Pretty sure.
Well,
maybe we didn't. I don't know. Whatever.
I know
we do the
didn't.
same stuff every week. So fine.
Greg really.
But anyways, XTrans bots Motor Master is coming out in December because he asked them, and they said it's coming out in December, so that's cool.
So that's it. That's the end of that.
Mm-hmm.
End of discussion. They asked him, so it's over.
It's over. And
there's certainly not going to be any production delays or any shipping delays or anything like that. Like December it's not like December is a big holiday or anything like that that may, delay shipping.
But
and unlike
on their pre-order as coming out December, so it's true.
And
that's January.
And we all know that Keith, his first quick release that he rushes out, never has any issues.
Mm-hmm. It's always flawless. It's gold.
And then 6 months later, the re-release will come out
with
the exact same issues.
God, I hope Fanstoys everything comes broken.
Do you, man?
We're doing with Magnum PI?
You better watch it. Justin's gonna unleash the beast.
He's gonna fuck me up at TFCon. He ain't gonna have his kids. He's gonna be like, it's go time.
So we got XTrans bots, toy, drag strip, and dead end. And the link is Chinese.
The thing that gets me about this is the photoshopped faces.
Mm-hmm. Like, I thought they were photoshopped too, but then you showed me all these other photos, and
no, I didn't. I couldn't. I said they were photoshopped when I showed you the pictures. I said, look, they even did it to the other one.
Yeah, they are.
I thought
cool. They weren't. They really are photoshopped.
I think this is a cool concept, to be honest.
That's unbelievable.
That's trash. It's just a head. Like, you couldn't even make a head?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's a good concept. I'm not getting them because I already had the originals and the G2, but I think it's a pretty cool concept of you.
So it's not that cool of a concept because you're not buying them.
You know what would make Matt buy them? If they were clear. He would buy clear.
If they all had Starscream heads and you're like, yeah, they're just Starscream.
Oh, Justin's a little frisky tonight, isn't he? Wow, you must have some Wheaties or something.
I don't know. Wait, hold on. That's Dragstrip and Dead End?
Yeah.
That Dead End alt modes, is that weird?
No, it's the same as the toy. It's got the yellow and white stripe. That's how it's supposed to look. Well, I mean, if you have the toy version.
What's weird about it, Robert?
I like Dead End the best one. I like Dead End better than Dragstrip.
Okay.
I think it's cool. I think it's a cool concept. If you want a toy version, awesome.
Wow. Quick show. We got questions.
Quick Quick show.
Wait, you're not going to talk about XTrans graveyard?
So let me just go back to XTrans bots here. I feel like if I was, and I have 2 of the characters in this set, but I've bowed out at this point. But if I was going to continue this set, this is the dead end I'd pick. I think like even like cartoon accuracy be damned, like the stripe on the car looks so much better.
What's your language?
Should have been there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Dirty language.
All right.
Yeah, no, I think this, so, I don't know. It's fine.
Speak your mind, man. That's what we're here for, man.
We're just to make it, we're talking about these Stunticons, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Stunticons.
So my opinion is this would feel very different to me if the Motormaster was out.
Mm-hmm.
With
yeah,
the
it's weird
Motormaster
to be doing
not
like
being
these like repaints and stuff.
Correct.
Without
You're doing a cash grab already?
Right.
Correct. That's what bothers me about this.
Okay. I can give that. I can give you that.
And they just photoshopped the heads. Why?
Why not? Because they wouldn't get the images out.
Something's funny. I smell something fishy.
Something smells fishy.
Motormaster's coming out in December. They said
I mean,
so.
yeah. Keith said so. End of discussion.
He answered Greg for Mercy personally. And said,
Personally.
December.
He flew to his house.
Like, dear Mr. Mercy.
With a bouquet of flowers.
Man. What if you met Keith and you just didn't know it? That'd be awesome.
What are you saying, Matthew?
Hey, that's the secret. All of us are. Keith is in all of us. So in many ways, we all are Keith.
He is all of this. Gross.
I wouldn't be surprised if we have. In fact, I
wouldn't either.
Such
I would not either. I bet he's walking around TFCon and we're just like, hey, man, whatever. I'm excited. I got all 4, so I'm ready for Graveyard or Grave, whatever his name is, Gravestone.
Graveyard.
And then on the I saw, it's not here in the notes, but I think it was today. Somebody posted the side of the toy box because the packaging now that they're doing these in, that's dancing that's dancing along some trademark claim now. They got to be careful because now that's starting to look like a knockoff. Now they're taking a third-party product that was in the realm of copyright, and now they're turning it into a trademark issue potentially. He better watch it.
Are they doing?
Really?
Yep.
They haven't released any of these G1 decos, right?
Not yet. Crack Rock should be coming out soon.
Because I'm tempted. I'm tempted just because I love the Stunticons so much, but if I do get them, I'll probably sell the other ones.
Man, you can have so many Stunticons. You could do like, those like 1 million subscriber reviewers, and they take like baths in like Jello and stuff. You could take baths in your Stunticons.
Robert was amazed at my amount of Masterpiece Stunticons.
That's good.
He couldn't understand it.
So they did show the combine mode for XTrans bots, and it looks really good.
Is that in this link?
No, it's not on the link, but it was on Facebook and on the side of the box of this release. It's like the toy box. It looks like a Transformers original toy box.
Can you send it to me? Can somebody send it to me?
Put it in the G3. I'd like to see that.
Please put it.
If you want to talk amongst yourselves, I'll look for it.
Hold on a second.
Actually, I'll be right back as well. Justin, entertain the people.
Is this intermission or something?
I'm gonna do a show and song and dance here.
Where was it? We think it was in the cafe.
Yeah, take us out
I'm
of here.
sure. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure there was a. Hold on, I'll probably find it too.
Yeah, keep looking.
Dude, you got your buddy Brian Bell to come into RC, man. Good job.
Yeah, it's right up his alley. He collects. He reads comics. He collects Marvel, all that stuff. He likes Transformers, although he doesn't collect.
That's cool. Where's he been? Yeah. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. I'll take a picture of it and I'll put it in G3. Looks weird. Oh, that's the SUP edition. Where's the G3?
That packaging dances along the lines of a trademark claim.
You think so?
Yeah. Yes.
Just the block and the purple and the white?
Yeah. The entire package causes consumer confusion. The packaging, the entire thing, it looks like a toy box from the Transformers.
That is true, but if they are not maintaining that trademark anymore, I don't know if there's anything they can do about it.
That's true.
Ooh.
I feel like we've
Dang,
seen
Robert
this
just got
picture
put on notice, man.
or a similar picture.
You put me on notice.
Yeah, like if this was the 80s and that's what
You're
they were
not
doing,
supposed
like
to share any of your intellect.
I could
We saw
100% see that, but they haven't been doing that for a long time at this point. Like, I mean, I guess the G1 reissues, but I don't know if they would have re-upped for those for the reissues,
Bobby, we've seen the thing on the
They
left.
might have, right? I mean, no, the reissues are coming out in the original kind of packaging now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they might still be. I mean, they might still have a claim.
It's possible.
So they're showing Menasor in the toy mode, which is interesting.
He's got some skinny thighs, Mac.
That's fine. I don't care. It still looks good.
It's weird that his thighs are the same width almost as his calves.
But Minosaur's always been skinny. He ain't been a thick bot.
What do you think about his arm joints looking like the same color as the bots that go on the arms? That's
I'm thinking about using him on a Detox shelf in my office. I know that's supposed to be funny, but it's not. And like put like the combined mode XTrans bots Minosaur in a shelf, and then put the 5 G1 toy modes in robot mode in front of him.
That'd be awesome.
You know how Bobby used to have. Bobby had the island of misfit toys.
Now he has the Detox.
He has
Now he has
it's a
the
floating shelf or
office.
something.
Now he has the office of.
No, because I have stuff I love up here, man.
Right, but they're still misfits.
They're not
How
misfits.
does the song go?
They're just.
I am just a misfit.
No. They're not misfits. They're redundant. They're redundant, but they're not misfits at all. Some of this stuff is some of my favorite shit. But it's like I have something to
place.
Is Crapagogs up there?
I still don't like this combined mode. I really don't.
No,
like
I mean by misfit, like they don't have a place in the entire collection.
I personally
You know
didn't
what I
get Omnigonic.
Yeah, I hear you.
So it's a misfit. It doesn't fit in,
Yeah, but I mean it could. I mean it's just a matter of what I chose.
I think that Minosaur looks good.
I don't think so. I don't like it.
Why do people? He's got skinny legs. So what? So
Yeah.
what?
Something about his torso is weird. It looks like
No,
he's
it's
all.
not. No.
He's like all.
No, it's not.
His
Christ.
chest.
I mean, y'all
he
are
looks-
y'all nitpicking stupid shit.
No, I mean look at his actual from his pelvis up, like from the underwear up.
Hold on. let
It
me
looks
get the
like
picture back up again.
It's like a block of stuff with just like a two-dimensional image of a chest plate. It's like the chest plate.
I'm good with that. I think this looks good.
Yeah,
What do you think the
I don't
Fanstoys
like
one's gonna look like?
I think the lower legs should be a little wider. I think if the lower legs looked wider, it would be fine. I think that the thighs are actually fine. I just think that the lower legs look too thin in comparison to the thighs.
His
Maybe
legs
it's
are
a good
short
character.
compared to his torso. No,
I'll give you that. I'll give you that as well.
But that's how he looked, didn't he?
Did it?
I mean, as far as toy version and cartoon version, he did. Man.
Well, I mean, the toy version, the cartoon version were drastically different, right?
Oh yes. I don't know. I think it. Yeah.
Let's get into some questions. We haven't done questions in a long time.
Fuck yeah, let's do that shit. Let's go.
All right. So, dear SCU crew, I know this would never happen in real life, but I'm going to ask the question anyway because I am curious to hear your take. If Takara allowed Bandai to make an Optimus Prime figure as part of Bandai's long-running Soul of Chojoken line, would you expect SOC Optimus Prime to be better than MP44? So, I have one question about this. Does it transform?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it doesn't transform, then it's going to be fucking perfect.
If it doesn't transform, it will be mind-blowing. If it has to transform, so I'm getting ready to look at the Bandai Valkyrie thing, and I'll let you know how I feel about that. But I've looked at some Bandai stuff that transforms, and I haven't been impressed.
See, that's the problem. I mean, look at Flames toys. Let's just take Flames toys. They're fucking perfect, beautiful.
Would you look at it though, Matt?
I know. Would you look at it? I'm looking at it right now. But I'm just saying, if that Tarn had to transform, it wouldn't look as good as it is now.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
But it's stylized, right? So maybe if it wasn't.
Well, I mean, it's
so
just a
stylized.
transformation. You have to do stuff. It has to. Parts have to go someplace and everything. So it just takes away. That's why Flames toys is so fucking beautiful.
Okay, well, what
because
about
they don't have to transform?
But I think that Flames Toys dumps more into their robot modes then most companies dump into all of it.
Right. Okay.
What about SOC Voltron?
Doesn't transform very much.
Yes, exactly. It does transform, but the transformation of it is not mind blowing.
Like the legs fold up, okay? Things twist around and things plug in.
The Megazord is even worse.
Exactly. Like it's like things fold up and things plug in. You know, like, and the only one on the Megazord that I saw from watching some reviews on it that like really transforms at all is the Mastodon, because it has to open up and hide things away, you know, and like that's not that hard. It's panels that hide a couple things away.
And I have their Valkyrie downstairs, right?
Which one's
like
the Valkyrie?
The
Macross one, yeah.
Yeah. So that is like it was a $250 retail figure that now goes for like $400. I have it in my possession and I'm going to review it. But that transforms. So after I manipulate that, I can give a better kind of opinion on this. But up until this point, every transformation that I've dealt with regarding Bondi has been super simplistic.
And just imagine that Voltron transformed like.
But I'll say that.
44.
But I think, so here we go. So like, the Voltron. The Voltron, I think, looks better than MP44.
Yeah, I know, yes, because but imagine if it had transformation like
it does.
It would not. No,
it doesn't have it like MP44, but it does transform, right? It does.
But
it's not faking it, right? Like it does have 5 lines. The 5 lines are super articulated, and then they all combine. Obviously, it's not as complicated as MP44, but also. The thing that I think the reason why the Bondi Soldier Jokin Voltron succeeds is because it doesn't look just like the cartoon. It looks in spirit of the cartoon, but it doesn't look panel for panel like the cartoon. It looks more sophisticated.
It looks more stylized.
Well, you know.
I don't. It's like there's something.
I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't look
going with that. You know, Takar's going with that
hypertune, and that's the problem. Is like, so here's the problem, right? Like, and I've brought this up on different platforms, but here's the problem. Takara MP44 looks amazing. It looks like it walked right off of the screen, and the transformation is kind of brilliant, and it's painted head to toe, and it's super articulated, and it's well built, et cetera, et cetera. All those things I agree. You know what's crazy about it? It fits in just fine next to the $60 Toro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Right.
It's too plain. Are you trying to say
it's too plain? It's too simple looking.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that.
It's not simple in its design. It's not simple in its construction. It's fucking brilliant.
Just the overall appearance.
Yeah, it doesn't.
No, I get that.
It doesn't look like it's $300 or $400 more than Toro. It doesn't.
And that's what we've said also about some of the statues. We saw that Starscream, the Thundercracker, the Seekers. They were kind of straight off the cartoon. And we asked, I think, if Flames Toys started making G1 stuff, it wouldn't look as good though, because it would just be plain.
Exactly.
Would you want to pay $400 for an
No.
Optimus Prime? Look like straight off the
not if it looked like the cartoon. No, absolutely.
But some people are going for that too. They're like, I remember that as a kid.
Which is fine.
And, that's fine.
But like, and I mentioned this on Patreon, but like, I would doubt that the animators that worked on Optimus Prime in the show got paid as much as MP44 costs in a week.
Oh yeah, no, probably not. I agree with that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's just what the cars. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what their decision was. Maybe it is to grab those people that adults that want to go back to their childhood and remember with Hound and Prime and Inferno, all the ones that just look kind of plain, like they don't look like they cost as much as what they cost, but they're just going for that toon look. And I don't know, some people like that and some people don't. I don't know.
But I would imagine that Bondi would blow them out of the water in robot mode.
Yeah, I would think that would be true. But I do have serious questions about how they would do the transformation. So
I agree. At this point in my experience with Bondi products, Takara is going to shit on them in regards to the transformation engineering.
And if I'm going to be completely honest with you, like with the Macross Valkyrie, I don't even know if that's a great qualification, because that Valkyrie, I mean, when I look at Voltron and I look at, like the Megazord and stuff, like it's kind of the same engineering that you've been doing since you released these toys. You've just improved upon it. And like,
agreed.
If I have to guess with the Valkyrie, take your old G1 Jetfire and see how much this stuff kind of looks like it moves the same way, but a little bit better because it's, higher end. So like
modern.
Yeah, if it's transforming that and doesn't do some trick that like, surprises the hell out of you, like is it any different? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think there's a company out there whose engineering transformation wise and that scale is better than Takara, with the exception maybe of MMC.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. So, and I do think that if they did an Optimus Prime, a transforming Optimus Prime, I would be hard pressed to say that it's going to be better than what Takara can put out. So
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, it's an interesting choice of characters though, because Optimus Prime traditionally is a simple transformation. So I would be interested to see what Bondi could do to be simple and elegant and still produce a good-looking product. Just because MP44 is extremely complicated.
Well, hold on a second. MP44 is extremely complicated. So is the toy world. So is the G Creations, the Generation Toy,
correct,
and the TF Element. So there's been a fair amount of super complicated primes.
I don't think they need to be. Not necessarily.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so either. Because I still stick by the opinion that I think Magic Square did it fantastically, and it's much simpler than a lot of them.
I agree.
So, and to me, I'll say it again, and I know your mileage may vary, whoever's listening, but like the whole it walked off the screen, like I don't feel that way at all about MP44. Like I hate seeing every panel and all that shit all over him, and being like, oh yeah, that's how I remember him off the screen. Like I look at the Magic Square, I'm like, yeah, like none of that immersiveness of the character is lost looking at his chest. So
agreed, but the proportions are different.
Yes, the proportions are different. Like it would be closer to being cartoon accurate if he was proportioned like MP44, but the lack of all the panels, it's like proportions versus hinges.
Yeah, I feel you.
So yeah.
Our next one, hello Shattercast gentlemen and Deluxe.
Oh snap!
That's hard.
I've been listening to your podcast for a few months now, and I dig it. I thought I'd drop you a line with a question. In earlier show, you talked about boxes and how they can quickly eat up space, which is a topic you'll get back to someday. My question is,
we now, huh?
How do you manage your collection? In other words, how do you keep it from growing out of control? What methods and reasonings do you implement in deciding what stays and what needs to go? And how much is too much in your opinion? How do you set your boundaries? Is it hard enough when you're just collecting Star Wars or Transformers, but given that many of us like different lines, how do you stay focused? Do you really need to be a completionist? So I just want to point out that my man said, my question is, and then asked 8 fucking questions. But
oh, he keeps going.
I know. He said, I find myself in this dilemma right now as I am in the process of remodeling and completely reorganizing my personal collection. I mainly collect Transformers, Masters of the Universe, Marvel Legends, and Star Wars, but feel overwhelmed with all the stuff around me. I like a good collection, but at the same time, I hate it when it looks like a mass clutter. I feel you. I want my figures to stand out and not get lost in the crowd. Thanks and keep up the good work. Sincerely, Sportimus. Dude, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, the dummies have touched on this a bit. Like, I don't know if we've solved this riddle. I think that the kind of key, and this may be a bit of a cop out, but the kind of key is to have some sort of variety. And my most successful display in my basement, in my opinion, is my Star Wars display. And that's because I have 2 tables, different type of furniture, housing my display of 3 3/4 figures. Then I have bookshelves with dioramas housing my 1/12 scale figures. And then I have Detox housing my 1/6 scale figures. And then my 1/4 scale stuff is in my office. But like, so there's a variety of furniture, there's a variety of scale, and there's a variety of how it's displayed, meaning diorama versus glass versus whatever. And that, I think, is the key to life. I think there's 2 main keys. I think one is variety, and one is allowing your display space to also look organic in the sense of it being a livable area.
Yeah.
You can go too far where the space looks more like a museum than it does like a place where people live. And it can also look like a fucking junkyard. So you have to walk this fine tightrope between the two. It has to look like a space to observe and appreciate, and at the same time live in kind of serve a purpose. So like adding furniture, like seating, that kind of stuff, I feel like helps. Coffee tables and little things you wouldn't necessarily think of to display your items that will bring it to life. Like I'm getting ready to think about a whole extra thing behind my couch that'll just display figures, also be like a bookshelf, but also allow for you to like put your drink on when you're sitting there, you know, busting a chill, for lack of a better term.
He's gonna use spin out as a cozy.
So it's complicated, man. Like, and like it's like you just know. It's like one of those things. It's like you know when that shit's not right. You know, and if it's not right, slim down. And we've said this on the show before, but like and I think I got this idea from Adam. But if you take your stuff that you're not sure about, put it in a bin, put the bin away in the storage area for 6 months. If you miss it, get it back out, find a way for it to work. If you don't miss it, get rid of it. Don't be married to this shit.
Yep, that's the problem I'm in. I feel like almost like a collector's dilemma has to be, if you have empty space, that's like your downfall, because you have the room for something, you have an empty shelf, hey, I can get this figure, I'll put it there, when it really doesn't really belong. So it's almost like you have to go through a process where you clutter your space, and then that forces you to filter out the stuff that you realize you don't really want or need, and then you make a decision about where you want your displays to go. I think space is the key. It starts with that, but it's really, I don't think it's easy for anybody coming into it and building their collection to resist, because there's so much stuff out there. It's so difficult to resist picking up things that really don't belong in your collection, because you want to check it out.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'll go throughout the way I do things. Like, I mean, I don't profess I have some fantastic way of doing it, but a lot of things are like, if I know something's coming that, that's the version I 100% want. Like I can't think of anything specific right now, but I'll sell off. Like, okay, a very quick one, just looking at my collection, was like Huffer on the shelf. I'm like, I don't need this classic Huffer anymore. I want the Magic Square one, or not Magic Square, whatever they're, Bad Cube, that one. Like, I got rid of my old, I said TFC I think first time. I don't even know what I said, but I got rid of the XTrans bots Huffer that I had hanging around because I didn't wanted it, knowing that the new Bad Cube one was coming. Same thing for like Cliff Jumper. I had the Ace Toys ones. I'm like, okay, this one's gone. Like, there's no way this is sticking around. Then sometimes it'll be a case like I don't know which one I want. So like MMC Hoist. I was like, I don't know if I want MMC Hoist or do I want this XTrans bots one. And I got the XTrans bots. I'm like, yep, this is the one I like. Off goes the MMC one,
Right.
I could have packaged it up. It could have been sitting downstairs, or I could turn it into whatever it's going to be. Omnigonic, or not Omnigonic, that thing was gone real quick. Bad Cube, Sunstreaker, same thing. Like MP Sunstreaker came out, I'm like, nope, don't want this one. See ya. You know, so that's usually what I do. Like if I am replacing a character, with certain exceptions, I will off what I think is the inferior one. Like I have every version of Jazz that's out there, but that's a personal thing, you know, like just collecting Jazz.
Right.
And then the other thing is like sometimes, like, you know, with respect to the characters, I'm like, I've lost interest in. Like sometimes it's just honestly like, you know, like you said, you're fed up with your stuff. Like you feel like it's cluttered, and like sometimes I'll hit and I'll just go through my closet and I'll just be like, nope, don't want this, don't want that, don't want this, you know, and just make a big pile and throw it up for sale. So,
and I also think that like just to add on to your point, like a shelf with 10 Jazz figures can look better than a season 1 G1 shelf easily.
It would be interesting to look at least.
You know, because like it all depends on how you do it, and how, like, at least it's focused.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at least like, I don't know, it's purposeful. That's part of my problem with looking at like the MP44, not to bring it back up, but like, you know, looking at it in regard to other stuff, I'm like, man, this doesn't stick out enough amongst this cheaper shit to make it worth, you know, whereas like a Jazz collection could look like, man, like this is just whoever this dude is, this guy loves this dude, you know, and that's that. I don't know. Matt, do you got anything?
I'm going to start putting my stuff up like they're crowd surfing. I'm just going to put it on top of my other Transformers and just crowd surf the whole time because I love clutter. So.
That's actually a good idea, like arms up.
Oh, yeah. Arms up, everything. They can just crowd surf the shit out of my Transformers because I love clutter. I don't care what you think. All right.
All right, let's do one more.
Let's do it.
We got Esteban, who I'm going to have the pleasure of speaking to on Friday. And he said, hey, I wanted to start by saying...
What did he say?
Well, so he said, hey, NRR, right? But he listens to both shows, so I'm guessing he meant to say, hey, SCU. I wanted to start by saying I really enjoyed last week's episode. It was fun and fresh way to start the show. So Fanstoys is eventually going to give us the main crew for the 86 Transformers movie. There's probably a designer on their team that really wants that done. So I thought you guys could play a game that you guys haven't done in about 100 episodes back when TF News was fun. Name that robot. Think of the theme that Fanstoys uses of their movie bots and come up with a name that could be used for Ultra Magnus, Wheelie, and Scourge. My guesses are Sheriff, the Boy, like Dennis the Menace or Bart Simpson, and Moses because of the beard. Have fun and have an awesome weekend, everyone. Esteban. Whew. Anybody got any off the top of their head? You know what always bugged me out about Scourge? How he looked like an old man.
Yours did. With a little puffy fake chin beard. I think his name would be Zapato.
Because he looks like a shoe.
Nostradamus.
Zapato.
Oh, that's actually a like house slipper. What if he was just called House Slipper?
Ultra Magnus would be Fall Apart Failure.
Let me think about who. Like,
Wheelie would be.
What if Ultra Magnus was Busy Boss?
Busy.
Wheelie could be called Slingshot.
Willie could be Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, Busta Rhymes would be great.
I like that.
Oh, what about Marcoolio?
Busta Rhymes would be great. Busy Boss is just because you can't deal with that right now.
Busy.
Yeah.
Scourge would
Yeah,
be
I was
Old
thinking
Man
like
Brothers.
Can't touch or something, but yeah, I like Busy Boss better.
So.
Maybe it would be Ray Bans. His name
yeah. Yeah. I would like for if they did like the Protectobots for them all to have names from like Chips, like the
It'd be very funny.
Actually, Chips and Emergency, like the old fire department show. You You know, like if they all used stuff from those two shows, would be
Heck,
great.
I'd even be okay if you just named everything after old shows too. You know, let's get Streetwise could be Kit. Blades could be Airwolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ambulance could be Lawyer.
First aid, he could just be A-Team. See what else.
Yeah, I feel like actually, you know, to be fair,
could be Chips.
like
just need Hotspot.
True. The Fanstoys aerial bots are kind of most of some of the most more like thematic stuff we've seen in a long time. You know, like
yeah,
like where there's like a nod and a wink to it. You know,
DX9 Senticons are a nod to the mobsters.
Yep.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yep.
So it's pretty clever the way it went that way. So Wheelie, Scourge, Magnus. Is that the only ones we need?
That's good. I think that's good. I think we could probably get one more in here then, boys.
Well, let's do.
What's up, SCU guys? This is from Sean Mack. We'll call him just Sean Mack for this episode. What's up, SCU guys? What are your top 5 MP transformations, and what are your top 5 masterpiece?
I feel like that's a top 5 episode. We'll hit that later.
Maybe we should do just a top 5 episode for episode 300.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Just come up with a group of top 5 questions.
Okay.
Let's hold on to that. That one's long as fuck.
And listeners, if you're listening, there's one more episode after this one before 300, so send in your top 5s.
Yeah.
We'll pick the top 5 out of that top 5.
Top 5.
And then we'll do a
listeners.
5.
All right, let's see. What's up, Shattercast? Yeah, that's right. Fall time is finally here. There's still plenty of time to have some outdoor fun. Maybe swim in a retention pond or chase an ice cream truck. Yeah, let's do that. In the spirit of top 5, what are the top 5 ice creams of the Shattercast? Let's do this one. Let's end with this one. Please tell me you guys like ice cream. I once knew a kid that liked ice cream. Turns out he didn't like anything fun. That didn't like ice cream. Turns out he didn't like anything fun. Your fan, EL.
EL Fudge?
So my top 5 ice creams from the ice cream truck, right? That's what we're doing. So
depends on which truck.
All right. So my number 5 was the Ninja Turtle face. Everybody remember that one?
The droopy eye.
Yeah, Ninja Turtle face had like the M&Ms for eyes or whatever.
They're always droopy too.
Now my number 4 is kind of a bootleg because it carries off of that, but that's the frog. That's where the Ninja Turtle came from. It was a frog face. It was the same shit, but they just repurposed it. Okay, my number 3 was the candy cigarettes.
They sold those that was the candy truck. That was different than the ice cream.
No, not here. It was the ice cream truck. My number 2 was the magic dip, where you had like the little like spoon. It was a candy spoon. You're supposed to be able to eat the spoon, but nobody.
Fun dip.
Fun dip. Yeah.
Yeah, it had the chalky fucking white piece. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Nobody was ever supposed to eat the fun dip. Like the actual spoon.
Straight sugar.
And then my number 1. You know what? I'm gonna say that the turtle and the frog are tied at number 5, and then I'm gonna move everything down a slot. My number 2, the traditional ice cream sandwich. Just the chocolate top and bottom, and then the vanilla in the middle. The traditional ice cream sandwich, and then my number 1, hands down, is the chocolate chip cookie ice cream.
All right. I just felt like that was a jip. That was like getting cookies, juice with your cookies and snack time.
Oh, so the thing is like for me, I don't know how you guys. For me, it was like that one was so everything was usually like 50 cents or whatever. That shit was $1.25. So like it was rare that I got that one, but when you got that one, like you felt like, oh, the world is yours.
Yeah, that was a big ice cream sandwich. The chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah. All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll go. That's the thing. When I grew up, and it just reminded me, I totally forgot about it. there used to be a candy truck, and it wasn't a dirty van with a sign on the outside. It was like an ice cream truck, but it was just a candy truck. But there was the Good Humor. You had the Good Humor and the Mr. Softy, right? The Mr. Softy is just a soft serve, and I would always get vanilla cone, and I'd mix it up with the rainbow sprinkles or the chocolate sprinkles. I wouldn't do half and half. That wasn't my cup of tea. And I was always jealous of the kids that would get the milkshakes. I never had the money for that. But I want the soft serve. That's one. But then with the Good Humor truck, I'd like the strawberry shortcake, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd get the chocolate eclair.
Mm-hmm.
The King Cone.
That was a good one. The chocolate eclair was a good one.
You remember the King Cone?
Nah.
They still have that. It's like covered in nuts and chocolate, and they still make those. And I guess I would the UFO. What was the UFO? It was like a whoopie pie with ice cream in it. I remember that now. Do you remember this? It was like imagine the chocolate chip cookie sandwich, but instead it was like dark chocolate cookie with it wasn't an ice cream. It was an ice cream sandwich, but not like the traditional rectangle. It was called the UFO. I remember that now. Wow, this is bringing back memories.
Nah.
I don't know that one.
Maybe I was abducted.
Perhaps.
What about you, Justin?
So I liked. I thought I was gonna have the market on the eclairs because you didn't say it there, Bobby. I was like, oh, how did you forget about those?
Yeah, they were great. They were
the
great.
Things were awesome. I like those. I do like the traditional ice cream sandwich is always a good thing.
Absolutely.
I don't know like the brand or anything, but just like I know you can get them in the store, like the drumstick type things, like those types of ice creams were good. I also liked the cookie ice cream. And I'm trying to think of one more thing. I know the orange creamsicle, did not like that. Mostly because the ice cream truck I got it from, everything was kept too cold, and like your tongue would basically rip off. Like you'd like lick the orange creamsicle, and you're like, it's stuck.
Yeah.
That kind of sucked. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to think. The Spider-Man face, if we're gonna go with faces.
Oh yeah,
remember
that one?
Spider-Man face, with the gumball eyes, which made no sense for Spider-Man, but whatever. So yeah, that's what I'm going for.
There's one I'm gonna bring up if nobody brings it up, but if for nothing else, to laugh at it. What about you, Matt?
I can't believe y'all like the push pops.
Yeah.
Orange little push pops. I love those. They have the little things, plastic little straw. You push it up and everything. I love the push pops. I love the red, white, and blue popsicle.
So that's the one I was gonna bring up. So to me, that shit was the trash shit. Like any.
It's America. It's America.
Like that was like that. Like I felt like because it's crazy, but I felt like when I was a kid, like nobody had ice cream like that in their house, right? Like nobody had like the frog face.
Right.
Like that's what made that
but
shit
you did
special.
have those popsicles.
But you did have those pops. Like that red, white, and blue shit. Like everybody had those. It was like, man, I'm not buying that. Fucking Tony's got those over there.
Yeah. You don't get that from the ice cream truck. You get that from your refrigerator.
Yeah, you get that from Ian's house.
Yeah. Y'all talking about the turtle and thing. I remember Tweety Bird. Tweety Bird had a little.
See, I don't remember that. I remember
Tweety Bird.
I
always like the. That's true. I like the cones, the ice cream cones with the chocolate over it, and they got the nuts, the peanuts.
Oh, like the classic.
Yeah. Like, that's what I was talking about when I said like the drumstick type.
Isn't that the King Cone? That's the King Cone.
Maybe.
No,
I mean, it might go by different names.
So.
That's like the Stephen Colbert, Ben and Jerry shit, but that's like the classic.
Well, now they got like fudge in the middle of them now and stuff. And everything. They got some really good stuff in them.
Yeah.
The fudge bar was always good too. I like the fudge bar. It wasn't that bad. And slushies. I mean, the in the cone, whatever. I love the.
Oh, right. What the hell was that called? Snow cones.
Snow cones, yeah. I love a good snow cone.
Oh, I like the snow cone, but we didn't have those at our ice cream man.
Do y'all remember the there was a dog. It was a dog. It was a pup. What was it called? Shit. I forgot what they were called.
Oh, slush puppies.
Slush puppies, yes.
Yeah,
I love going into a store and looking at a slush pup, man. I always look for a little slush. It had a little thing spinning on top of it.
Yep.
I love that, man.
Yeah, slush puppies were the shit, man.
I always look for a slush puppy thing at a store, man. That was good shit right there. So that was mine.
I don't know if I know what I mean.
You know what slush puppies?
Not that. I'm not sure. Is that like the icy brand? Like is?
They were like around here, Justin. I'm not sure. It might have been different in Virginia, but like or Pennsylvania, but like around here. So there were Slurpees and there were Slush Puppies.
Yeah, I know Slurpees.
Okay, so 7-Eleven had the Slurpees, but Highs had the Slush Puppies.
Yeah, see, I don't even know what Highs is, so I have no clue.
Yeah, and it was like it wasn't carbonated like a Slurpee.
Slurpees are awesome. I love Slurpees.
It was kind of like a snow cone with extra juice.
Yeah, it was straight, thick. You know, a little thickness in the juice and everything. You know, like cherry, strawberry, and some other stuff. I just love Slush Puppies. We always when I played T-ball. What
flavor did you get on the Slush Puppy?
Oh, cherry.
Yeah, cherry. You had to get the cherry.
That was straight sugar cherry.
Everybody got
the same thing with a Slurpee. You can't.
Dude, I remember after T-ball games and practice and everything, man, I'd always go get a Slush Puppy.
And if they were out of one of the syrups, it would always be the cherry. You'd be like, God.
Yeah. So to give you the insight of the Pennsylvania way of doing it, we had mostly 7-Eleven for that stuff. Wawa is like one of our convenience stores, and like they never had that shit until like recently. Now they have ices there, but like it was always a convenience store. If it wasn't 7-Eleven, had ices, and if it was anything else, and if it was 7-Eleven, it was the Slurpee. So
gotcha.
And ices are drastically inferior to a Slurpee. So.
Real quick, let me ask you one of your favorites right now. Like my favorite, I love the Snickers, ice cream Snickers. I love those things. Which one is your favorite?
So honestly, man, like right now, so I got my two personal favorites right now. Turkey Hill. If you're not from around this area, you don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is.
Turkey Hill. All natural, homemade vanilla ice cream is my favorite. It tastes like real homemade ice cream. It's the only ice cream I've ever had in this part of the world, like in this part of the country, that actually tastes like homemade ice cream. And then my second choice is also Turkey Hill, the Double Dunker. If you haven't had that shit, I advise you to get on board.
I've never heard of
that shit. Is coffee ice cream. It has a chocolate like syrup swirl throughout it, mixed with cookie dough and Oreo cookies. It is ridiculous.
I've never heard of that one.
Crazy.
I'll tell you my personal favorite currently. Like if I want an ice cream, the one thing that I always like is the Dairy Queen mint Oreo Blizzard. And you know what? Those fuckers are like, it's expensive to get mints, and we only do it now for St. Patrick's Day. I'm like, fuck you people. Like, it's the one thing from your store that I actually want to eat. And you're like, no, we only do that in St. Patrick's Day now. Like, fuck you.
Butterfinger Blizzard?
All right. So I got to talk about
Can I just say something really quick?
No. I got to get this out. I got to talk about what you call Dairy Queen real quick.
Oh, Jesus.
When I was a kid, there was no Dairy Queens around. We had to go to the South to get Dairy Queen. And
we could have come north. We had it there,
so I didn't know that.
Apparently, you had to go anywhere but where you were.
Yeah. But the beauty of Dairy Queen was like if you got a Dairy Queen Blizzard with like cookie dough, they would blend it until the cookie dough was like part of the fabric of the ice cream.
Yeah.
But now they just do it in a way that just mixes the cookie dough up in the ice cream. Now it's just soft serve with fucking cookie dough.
Exactly. And like you'll get, like if you get one, it's like you get like maybe a quarter way through, and then it's like this is just soft serve now. Like
they have
no
ice cream. Yeah, where's all the stuff
in there?
That used to be.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yeah.
Dairy Queen has fallen from my good graces because, first off, you don't do the mint Oreo, what you've been doing since I've been a kid. And
their food's not that good anymore, really, to be honest. As a kid, I loved it, but now we rarely go to
fries and shit.
You know what? My Dairy Queen where I lived didn't serve food. It was all ice cream. So
wow, really?
Actually, that's not true. I take it back. They did have hot dogs, but nobody ever knew you could buy a hot dog there. I only learned that from a friend who worked there. He's like, you can get hot dogs here. I'm like, I had no idea.
Shut the front door.
See, we didn't have friendly. We didn't have that. We had Friendlies around here.
Yeah,
we
Friendlies.
Friendlies I thought was trash. It was like, I was like, man, this is like a restaurant, but not a restaurant. This is fucking
let Robert go real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, Robert.
Oh no, I was just gonna say if like I try to avoid that stuff nowadays, but if I do get ice cream, it'll be like a Dove bar. Really good. You ever have a Dove bar?
Okay.
Of course.
Yeah.
Really good. I
They
like
got
it.
good candy too. They got good chocolate.
That's it.
Chocolate.
Also, we do have friendlies around here, and once in a while we may take the kids, or at least the kid who can eat that stuff. And like my wife and I were both like, it's pretty grody in here. Like it's disgusting.
Like
the longer
IHOP?
you sit in friendlies, the more
Dude,
you start
IHOP's
looking
gotten
at
better,
stuff, and you're like, I don't really know if this is passing.
And you know what's
some
funny,
health
man?
codes.
As a kid, it was like the spot where you went to where it was like, you know, you got 100% on a test, or like, you know, you just made a home run in baseball. Now you get
Pizza Hut, man.
Yeah.
Oh, Pizza Hut, man. We had Pizza Inn. I don't know if y'all had Pizza Inn up that way, but we had. It's out of business though. But it was competition for Pizza Hut down here.
See, the problem with me with Pizza Hut is like I realized like I loved Pizza Hut as a kid. Like when my school was like, it's pizza day, and they're like, we got Pizza Hut. I'm like, yes, best day ever. And then like, you know, like as an adult, I'm like, I kind of don't like the taste of Pizza Hut.
If you read,
if
you read so many books, you would get a coupon for Pizza Hut.
the book it
Did you ever do
thing.
that?
I remember that.
Oh yeah, you could get like a personal pan. Get the personal pan back.
Dude, I worked at Pizza Hut for 3 years. I haven't ate Pizza Hut in so long.
So I'll go ahead and put this out there. Pizza Hut owes me about $20 because, because my wife and I, like we both needed jobs when we first met each other. So we both applied to Pizza Hut and we both got hired. And we both went to like this training, like it was like a mandatory training for so many hours. And then after the training, I was like, man, I'm not showing up to this shit. Like, and I should never showed up for work, but I did. You're supposed to get paid for the training. So the training was 4 hours and I was getting paid $5 an hour at the time. And I never cashed my paycheck in. So those motherfuckers owe me like $20. Man, this is bullshit.
Man, you better go get that shit, man. It's probably sitting there. It's probably sitting in the desk right now, man.
I'm sure they're saving it for me.
Oh yeah.
So I feel like Pizza Hut owes me $20 too, because the one time recently, my wife's like, I forget. It's a couple of years ago now. I think we were traveling to, the beach in North Carolina. Yeah, we were going to the beach there. And, on the way, we're like, well, let's stop for lunch. Like, we don't have Pizza Hut near us right now. There's some close, but not, like, in our town close, So we just happened to be passing by. We're like, let's try the lunch buffet. Why not? Let's do it. And they're like, they were out of pizzas. Like, for the most part. Like, there was a bunch of people at this particular Pizza Hut.
How the fuck are you out of pizzas?
Exactly.
It happens.
They're like, we have
man.
pasta and salad. And then, like, anytime a pizza would come out, like, everybody... Like would get up and like swoop in like hawks. Oh yeah. And then like there'd be no pizza left, so you're just sitting there and like I'm like, I think at this Pizza Hut like lunch buffet I had one slice of pizza, and that is unacceptable. So
yeah, that's crazy.
That shit happens, man. All right, well, we done?
I think that'll do it.
That'll do
Robert,
it.
are we good, Robert?
I think so.
Are you sure? You've been quiet for the last 30 minutes, man. You okay? Are you okay?
It's the steroids.
About 30 minutes.
Oh, you're passing out. All right. I really don't like doing it. I like it just like that. I like to be coaxed into it, coax. Is that a word? Coax?
Take us out, Matt.
Coax.
All right, take us out, Matt. There we go. Coaxed, yeah.
I like to be coaxed.
Is it coax or coaxed?
Shardouts to Courthouse Network, ROC, Antis around, tight Detox, Plastic Fanatics, Spirit Vultures, Nerve Rage Radio, 8 Weeks.
And my personal favorite, the well-established Gentleman's Show, Stasis Lock.
At Real Robot, at Fear Corpse.
I am Ratchet.
Third Party TF Crashers, and Open Your Toys Podcast.
This podcast is intended for mature audiences only. The sole purpose is to entertain. If it doesn't fit with your sensitive sensibilities, please feel free to turn it now.
Shut the fuck